It's official, Patrick Stewart is going where no man has gone before, specifically CBS All Access. If Star Trek Discovery wasn't enough to convince Trekkies to sign on to the subscription service, it looks like CBS is bringing out the big gun. Yesterday, Sir Patrick Stewart confirmed that he was returning to the role of Jean-Luc Picard, but wait, it gets better. This isn't just some stunt-casting cameo for Discovery via time travel shenanigans. Stewart has seemingly signed on for a completely new show centered around the next stage in Picard's life, making it the first time a new Star Trek series has moved forward in the timeline since Star Trek Voyager. Personally, I can't wait to see the return of this beloved sci-fi character after so many years so they can really dive into what they've been up to all this. Run, Stewart, get out before it's too late! And over in video games, if you're watching this video early enough, you might still have enough time to catch the final rounds of EVO 2018. Fighting game masters from across the globe descended on Las Vegas this weekend for this year's Evolution Championship Series, with thousands of players facing off in Street Fighter V, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Injustice 2, Guilty Gear Xrd, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Super Smash Bros., and Tekken 7. Expect this to be the last year for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, which will doubtlessly be supplanted by Smash Bros. Ultimate later this year. Hopefully we will never have to see another Animal Crossing stage again. Don't worry about Melee though, the Smash community will keep that game going until the last GameCube finally breaks down. Meanwhile, Dragon Ball FighterZ is the new hotness at EVO, topping the list of registered players in its debut showing, overtaking Street Fighter V as the most popular game in the contest. Along with having a fresh player base of its own, FighterZ seems to have cannibalized the Marvel vs. Capcom community, as this is the first EVO ever without an entry from the Versus franchise as a main event. But even though Marvel has been snapped out of EVO, I'm still using Infinity War as a transition into new releases. Hitting theaters this week, we have The Meg. Aiming for the lofty goal of second best killer shark movie ever made, The Meg has Jason Statham fighting against a prehistoric-sized shark and basically everything that implies. But while The Meg may make you uncomfortable in the water, you're not gonna feel any safer on land because of The Slender Man. An internet creepypasta turned into a movie about an internet creepypasta that looks to be taking a lot of influence from The Ring. That said, there are worse horror movies to lift from. Over in television, the moon and the stars have aligned once again, bringing us the 7th season of The Venture Bros. I couldn't possibly tell you what's happening here anymore. Fortunately, one good thing about the show's irregular schedule is that it gives you a lot of reasons to go back and binge watch past seasons to refresh yourself. Also starting its 7th season this week is Voltron, Legendary Defender, and talk about opposites on the production spectrum. While it's taken Venture Bros 14 years to reach its 7th season, Voltron only started a little more than 2 years ago. At this rate, we're actually getting new episodes every time the literal season changes. And finally on Cartoon Network, Mega Man Fully Charged is starting its first season this week, though Cartoon Network has apparently put the whole thing up on their website already if you have a cable login. Heading into PC releases, we have Alter Army, a kinda neat looking 2D pixel art action game that seems like a Metroidvania mixed with a death metal music video. Defenders of Ekron Definitive Edition is a pretty spiffy looking overhead shooter with both a 360 mode and a traditional retro arcade mode for all your shoot 'em up needs. And if you can't wait for Smash Bros. Ultimate, Slamland is a similar game with a wacky cartoon style and a wide range of silly game modes. Meanwhile, because there just aren't enough precision platformers out there, Death Fungeon throws itself into the mix, having you sneak your way through a death trap-filled dungeon. And next up, Overcooked 2, a cooking puzzle co-op game that looks like a really fast way to end friendships, but I guess enough people like the original to warrant a sequel. Speaking of, Battleship Official Edition brings the beloved board game to the internet, complete with online play and new maps and abilities to spice up the hunt for the enemy fleet. It sounds both fun and potentially infuriating. For our RPG Maker entry of the week, Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass definitely has a more ambitious art style than the typical game you see of this type. Can't really say much about the game itself, it kinda gives off an Undertale vibe, but either way, kudos on the graphical design. Circle Empires is a neat looking RTS game that has you attacking and defending against a variety of factions and terrains in a world that seems to consist entirely of uniformly laid out mountaintops. And for probably the biggest PC release of the week, Monster Hunter World is finally moving off consoles, so if 20 minutes of doing the same combo against a giant dinosaur creature is your idea of fun, now you can do it sitting at a desk. For point-and-click adventure fans, Unavowed has you putting together a team of supernaturally inclined outcasts and using their knowledge and abilities to stop an ancient evil, so that's pretty neat. And finally on PC, Dyland is a cute little adventure game that sets you up as the ruler of your own tiny little world so you can occasionally go out on adventures with interesting characters. Heading over to consoles, We Happy Few is finally getting out of early access for a proper release on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Still not super sure what the gameplay loop is supposed to be, but it sure looks cool. Likewise, Dead Cells is another game technically getting a release this week, even though people have been playing it for more than a year. This one's heading for the Switch as well, adding yet another gorgeous-looking hardcore Metroidvania-style game to the ever-expanding library. Also hitting consoles this week, Flipping Death is a stylish puzzle platformer that has you playing a ghost resolving the problems of the living and the dead while trying to solve the mystery of your own death. Toby the Secret Mine has a very limbo-ish look to it, and I'm pretty sure I've covered it elsewhere, but it's apparently hitting the Switch this week. Likewise, following a multi-platform release last year, Okami HD is heading for the Switch. Get your God brush out and paint everybody a better world to live in. And also making its way to the Switch after a broad release last April is Minute, Devolver Digital's answer to Zelda played 1 minute at a time. Finally, not really a release, but in the spirit of EVO, Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Switch is getting an open beta starting on August 9th. That leaves us with this week's awesome video. Lindsay Ellis perpetuates the cycle of internet critics overanalyzing Disney movies, resulting in Disney making movies in response to the overanalysis, resulting in even more analysis. But really, it's a lot more interesting than it sounds. There's a lot of in-depth critique here.
Wow. I hate it.
That's everything for this week. So will the continued adventures of Jean-Luc Picard get you to sign up for CBS All Access? And what's your favorite fighting game to watch? Let me know in the comments. As always, I appreciate likes and really appreciate subscribers, so do all the appropriate things, share this video with a friend or two, and have a great week!